Boelter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you with another NorbCam NFL news update. Free agency deadline was today, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Last moment for teams to sign players to extensions. And boy, did we have some doozies that came in at the last minute, the last couple of days, especially today. Quick shout out to those of you listening in the chat. Justin Herbert, Lasniak, YT, Caden Powell, Sports Channel Kid, what's up? Paul Stevens Jr., Army Men, Cameron Hughes, Nick LaBow, Infernicus, SSB Internals, Josh Wade, Sky High Aviation. We'll see you on the show tomorrow. Thanks to you guys all for tuning in. Before I get into these stories, real quick, I just want to remind all of you, if you like what you hear and like what you see, please feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell because it really helps. I would love to have a few more subscribers on my list. So let's first get to a couple of the big ones today. First of all, yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs extended defensive tackle Chris Jones with a huge extension, a 4-year deal, $85 million, $37 million guaranteed salary, $60 million guaranteed in case of injury, and $5 million in incentives. Chris Jones was a huge part of that pass pressure that helped them win the Super Bowl. No surprise there that they had two priorities to take care of. They wanted to take care of Patrick Mahomes, their quarterback, got him done with a huge, massive contract, and then this week getting Chris Jones extended as well with a pretty huge one as well. Averages out to about $21.25 million per year for the pass rusher. And, well, I'm on the good side. They locked up those two players. On the flip side, well, Kansas City, welcome to the world of, let's see how much cap space you have from this point moving forward. On average, they're going to be paying Patrick Mahomes somewhere in the ballpark of $40+ million, depending how you slice it up. And now with Chris Jones, another $21 million. So roughly $60 million of their cap will be dedicated to two people. It'll be very interesting to see. I'm sure they are wanting to capitalize on this Super Bowl win, continue that moving forward, and we'll see how it goes in this year, of course, of question marks as to exactly what's going to happen with a season in doubt. But either way, they've got Chris Jones locked up, and I'm sure they're anxious to go for number 2. Well, we'll see what happens in 2020. Let's go to the next huge signing. That would be today, Myles Garrett. Just when we thought the Chris Jones extension was huge. Well, we just break that record real quick. A day later, the Cleveland Browns signed Myles Garrett to a 5-year, $125 million extension with $100 million in guarantees, $50 million guaranteed at signing. That's a big one. Averages to about $22 million a year for their pass rusher, arguably the best player on that team. And this, ladies and gentlemen, sets the record for the highest contract ever for a defensive player. So, again, we know what it's like to see huge players getting huge contracts, and you just got to hope that that investment, that pays off, because you got a lot of money tied up in that player. But he is a great one, and I know a lot of teams were interested in potentially trying to get their hands on him should he not go back to the Browns. But the Browns lock him up. 5 years, $125 million extension. And today, right at the deadline, had another big extension by the Tennessee Titans. Running back Derrick Henry was bowling over people throughout the playoffs, shocking teams, taking down the Patriots, taking down looked at the time to be the team to beat to go to the AFC Championship. It didn't happen. The Baltimore Ravens, of course, the Tennessee Titans behind the legs of Derrick Henry took care of them. Brutal for him, punishing with long runs, gashing them, but fell eventually to the Kansas City Chiefs. Derrick Henry with that amazing season of rushing tearing up the field. Got himself a 4-year, $50 million extension for the running back, $25.5 million fully guaranteed. And at a time when it seemed like running back contracts possibly were a thing of the past, especially after seeing the Todd Gurley contract, the LA Rams investing huge money in him just to see him not more than a year later start to suffer from some degenerative knee issues. Here we are with the Titans signing a pretty huge investment on their running back. But Derrick Henry, at least to this point right now, looks like a guy's going to be tough to stop. So, again, big money invested in one of the best running backs in the league, Derrick Henry. 4 years, $50 million. One player who did not get signed an extension would be the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Down to the wire, there's been some tough tensions between the owner, Jerry Jones, and Dak Prescott. Clearly, Prescott wanting to get paid like a top-tier quarterback, wanting that long-term extension. The Cowboys were not willing to get on the same page, and so the deadline for extension signing came and left, and the Cowboys will thus put into effect the franchise tag on Dak Prescott. So he will be essentially a 1-year deal worth approximately $31.4 million. So sorry, Dak, you didn't get the extension, but you're still getting paid. $31.4 million is nothing to sneeze at, and that makes him approximately the eighth, with having the eighth highest salary when it comes to NFL quarterbacks. That's still not doing too bad, but Dak Prescott not willing to, standing his ground, not giving in to a lower deal, and is willing to do the Kirk Cousins route of taking the 1 year at a time and signing the franchise tag, or soon to be the franchise tag, which will make him just a 1-year deal with the Cowboys. The risk there, well, it paid off for Kirk Cousins, who did that twice with the Redskins. And eventually the Redskins could not afford to extend him any further, released him, and then he signed a monster, all fully guaranteed deal with the Vikings. Dak Prescott taking a close look at that situation and kind of doing the same thing. So while the Cowboys get him for another year, the unfortunate thing for them is this does not bode well for the potential of a long-term relationship with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Sure, they can come to an agreement at any point in time. After this season, it's possible they could still lock things up if they come to an agreement. But in general, most of these franchise tag deals don't always lead to longer-term extensions later on. All depends on how the relationship is with the team. But at this point, clearly not on the same page. But we will see what happens in 2020. Again, a season up in the air. And more evidence to that is this most recent story about the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia becoming the first NFL city announcing that they will have no fans in the stands in 2020. According to Health Commissioner Thomas Farley, he stated that he does not think they can have spectators at the games. There's no way for them to be safe having a crowd there. And so they made the tough decision to not have any fans in the stands. While other teams, other cities have had different options for how they want to handle this moving forward, Eagles right there pulled the plug. Seattle, as I've mentioned in the previous story, as a season ticket holder, we got the email saying that we as season ticket holders were given an option to either defer and essentially give up our 2020 season and get a credit or refund good till 2021, or we could just sit it out and wait, which is what I'm deciding to do to see what happens. But as I stated last time, it's the more and more the situation looks bleak, the more it's looking tough to imagine how they can put enough safety protocols in a NFL stadium with all the complications of seats adjacent, people next to you, rows practically on top of each other, trying to enforce masks when you know a lot of people are not going to want to do it. Are you going to have a mask enforcement patrol going around up and down the stands to try to make sure that they're wearing them? It'd be very easy for people to go into the stands and say, I got my mask on. As soon as you're in, boom, off comes the mask. Very tricky situation, but Philadelphia already committing to a no-fan situation. The question now will be, will other cities decide to do the same thing? I'm hoping that Seattle will find some way to make this work, as I want to be in that stadium, but it's hard to imagine things working out very positively, at least not for a decent-sized crowd. And I would be okay if they just went with a no crowd and still have the games. It's almost, for me, it's like almost we all go or nobody goes, as opposed to trying to fit some weird configuration and some people getting an opportunity to go and others not. So a lot to be determined here. Weird, just strange situation, but that's how it lays at this point. Well, I hope you guys will. I hope you enjoyed this quick little update. I will be posting more videos tomorrow. I've got my collaboration with the usual weekly panel and another round of Seahawks trivia. We'll be doing our show at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you'll tune in next week or tomorrow for the next show, when we will be having our special guest, Sky High Aviation, who won the last trivia contest. He will be co-hosting the show and for his win in that trivia contest last week. So congratulations, Sky High Aviation. Looking forward to talking to you and having you as a guest. And maybe you can play and be a host, co-host, and guest of another episode. So come join me tomorrow as we do another round of NorbCam Seahawks Trivia. One last thing before I sign off here, I just wanted to mention again, I'm excited to be a member of an exciting new network that is premiering very soon. On the 27th, our website goes live, but it's the Fan to Fan Network. It is an organization, a group of sports influencers and fans who are all coming together as reps and ambassadors of our teams, sharing our thoughts, our videos, and our collaborations to break everything down of what we love about our teams. Obviously, me being the Seahawks, Big Time 12, excited to be repping the Seahawks in this exciting new network. And hopefully football season continues on. It's going to be another voice that you deserve to hear, the voice that fans deserve. And we will be showing and sharing a whole other side of sports analysis and fantasy football and everything like that with fans from all over the country come together. And excited to share that with you. So it's coming very soon, July 27th. The website goes live. And so here's a quick introduction of a few of the fans that you'll be meeting when you tune in to the Fan to Fan Network.
Hey guys, Joseph Freier here.
Tighten upload.
Variant of the Spotlight Raiders talk. Mike, the AZ Sports Fan.
Joseph DN 2.0.
Derek Larger.
Joe Newbo.
Ugly Durall.
It's your boy Baroshma.
NorbCam coming at you, and you're watching the
Fan to Fan Network.
The voice that sports fans deserve.
All right, there you go. So that is the Fan to Fan Network. I'll have more information on the website and everything once it goes live again, July 27th. Very excited. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the show. And again, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, you guys stay safe and go Hawks, baby.